Howdy y'all, Galator here, and I think the classic community has been up in arms about the wrong issues. You have loot sharing, server sharding, but what's the one thing that hasn't been guaranteed yet by Blizzard that we should be demanding in Classic WoW? Weather. So I'm gonna take you back to a time. The year is 2005, and you're a dwarf. You just received your quest to go from Anvilmar to Karanos, to deliver that parcel, and for some reason, you're in full Soulforge armor. Now I'm going to be quiet, and I want you to appreciate for a moment the blizzard you're now caught in. That's just it. Weather effects just like that add a whole nother layer of immersion to the game. Now Classic WoW already had a day-to-night cycle, which we lack in retail, but we've seen in the demo that there is going to be a day-night cycle. But what about weather? Now dwarves, I think they may be my favorite race for the reason that when you go from zone to zone, you're met with harsh weather that makes you appreciate when you're logging out in the inn or you finally come across a cabin. Take for example this clip right here. By the warm fire in the cabin, or even just diving under the water to avoid that noise. Who remembers being in Stranglethorn Vale, caught in the jungle in the midst of a complete rainstorm, you're getting ganked, and you dive underwater for that very first time? Now weather effects don't just add to the game to make the zones feel harsh, to give you a sense of safety at quest hubs. They can also act to enhance the inner beauty of a zone. Take for instance Elwyn Forest. Now it has rain, just like Loch Modan did, but it's a nice gentle soft rain. It adds to that spring-like element the zone has. And again, in Winterspring, snowfall doesn't have to be a blizzard. It can be beautiful and light, airy, make the zone feel safe. So Classic WoW did a really good job of making you feel unsafe or like you're actually in a World of Warcraft when you're out and about in the world. The safest you could feel is by traveling on paths or some sort of like character-made or man-made structures. But between those, you could be caught in blizzards or dust storms in this case. As you see, as you're running across the landscape, you aren't safe. Even in the camps in the Badlands, you aren't necessarily safe. Or in Silithus, seen here. But when you finally get to the inn where you're about to log out, you get that sense that your character is no longer is subject to the elements out there in the world. So I think this is a really important factor that was in Classic WoW that we haven't been guaranteed is going to be there. I think it's something that's really lacking in retail. I don't understand why they left out heavy weather effects. I get back in the day it used to be actually kind of a drag for people's PCs, but the way computers have come so far nowadays, no one's using the potato they ran Classic WoW on in 2005. They could probably handle even the strongest weather effects from then. So there, I think that's my case. That's it. I think we should definitely be asking for these strong weather effects and not the watered down versions we've seen in the game thus far. I'm going to link a video down in the description. One person has dug a little bit into the terminal of the game and talks about how they actually implemented these decreased or very weak weather effects. But yeah, until next time, au revoir.